Hello everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the BookTube Vlog-Nukkah Calendar. Yay! So, you know the drill. I draw the title of one of the books in the Portraits of Little Women series. I have the names in Braille in this tin. All right, drum roll, please. Okay. Okay. I will grab one of the books to lay the slip of paper flat so I can read it. Okay, Amy's story. Okay, that is, one second. That is this one. Amy is the youngest of the 4 March sisters. They all have very different personalities. You could say Amy is girly in a prissy sort of way, I guess you could say. And yes, that does drive Jo nuts. And yes, she does have a lot of opinions about it. Let me read the back. And again, it's text on a printed background. So this is gonna take a second. Okay. Beautiful and artistic Amy March wants her photograph taken more than anything until she decides to spend her savings on someone else. And as a reminder, this is during the Civil War, so photography had been invented at this point, but it was still very, very expensive. And the March family is not wealthy, so it's a big deal to get a photograph taken in that day and age for that level of economic class. All right, I will read this and be back later. Bye. Hello everyone, I am back after reading Amy's story, and I actually jotted down some notes because I was having more thoughts about this book than I expected to. So yeah, I'll dig right in. So in the interest of full transparency, Amy March is frankly my least favorite of the 4 sisters. She is the youngest. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust my mic. It's poking my neck. There we go. She is the youngest of the 4 sisters, and she is 12 when the original novel begins. So the height of preteen angst and drama. In this series, the main sister is 10 years old when the story takes place. So Amy is 10 in this story. So yeah, the preteen angst and drama is starting. I think that's a good way to put this in a modern context. Think, bitchy junior high girls who kind of antagonize other girls. So in other words, she kind of reminds me of my bullies in junior high. To her credit, she does have significant character development in the original novel, and even a bit at the end of this book. But on the whole, she is not my favorite. So, she's an artist. She likes to draw, and she's reasonably good at it. And she can't draw herself very easily, so she would like to have her photograph taken. And there is a photographer in town, and for $5, she could get a photograph taken. That is $170 in 2025. Whenever a money amount is mentioned in a book that takes place in a different time period, I always pull up a historical currency converter to see roughly what that amount would be like today. So $170. So a decent chunk of change for most people. And as said, the March family is not wealthy. The father is a clergyman, and back then that was not a lucrative profession at all. Like, the family of a clergyman could be comfortable, but it was a much more modest profession than when you think of like mega church pastors today. It's, yeah, much more modest and much lower income. And like I said, she meets a photographer, and he said something that really got me thinking. He said that as photography continues to evolve and become more economical, it has the potential to change the way we view things like war. The Civil War was just starting up, and we do have some photographs of Civil War stuff, but certainly not as many photographs as we would have in the following wars. And it's also got me wondering how different history might have been if we had more photographic evidence of atrocities like Black slavery and violence against Indigenous people. I mean, we have some, but if photography had been more affordable and more available to oppressed minorities, I think there might have been more awareness and potentially more resistance efforts, because you have to remember, information couldn't travel anywhere near as fast as it can today. So yeah, those are just all things I've been thinking about while I was reading this, and I will be back tomorrow for day 4. All right, bye guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Kati Tovah. Bye.